Cheesy Jeezy.
We're doing it live now.
Cheesy Jeezy.
You heard that. I wasn't crazy, right?
Easy,
No, I heard
cheesy
that.
Jeezy.
Cheesy Jeezy. I got right tickled by that, dude.
Kane, we need icons. Can you just get an ass for Nick?
Please, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me see what I can do, fellas. Hold on. Let me get some music rolling here. Get some fucking windmills rocking.
All right.
All right. Oh, hey, it would help if I could spell. Edler Scrolls.
Elderscrolls.
Edler Scrolls.
That's my alias.
Edler Scrolls. Dude, that should be a character now. Yes, hello, I'm Edler Scrolls. But yeah, so we're here talking about some Edler Scrolls, right?
I guess. What's an Elder Scroll?
What is an Elder Scroll?
It's a fucking MacGuffin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Alright,
god. I should have edited my search before I put in butts on Google Images.
Yes! Yes! This is starting
Yeah.
off great. Just butt. Did you get the very dark man standing over a bicycle with his bare ass looking at the camera?
I
The
did
cover
not.
of Butt magazine.
The cover of Butt magazine.
No, thankfully I avoided that. But
Thankfully.
But yeah, so our first topic is Stormcloaks versus the Imperials.
Alright.
Man, fuck them Stormcloaks.
Yeah.
God believing in motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. Imperial Legion is the correct path.
Man, fuck the Imperial Legion. Motherfucking bending over to the high elves. Fucking weenies.
Alright, so let's take a stance here. Alright, me and Nick are both of the idea that the Imperial Legion is correct, but somebody needs to play referee. And Kane, I think you're kind of the way of Stormcloaks when you first played. You actually agreed more with the Stormcloaks viewpoint to start.
Yes.
Okay, so why is that? Why did you believe the Stormcloaks were the ones who were more right? Because both sides have like flaws. But
First of all, let me ask, what do you want to be your the image behind your name on the stream?
can you have like the same ass that you use for Nyx, but just mirror it to the other side?
Where are you streaming this, Kane? Are you streaming this on Twitch?
No, I'm doing this on YouTube. Dungeon Talk is a YouTube thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know.
Well, you probably can't use him because he's copyrighted, right? Just look up dank meme and pick the 5th picture.
I gotta be careful where I pull stuff from.
Man, why don't you give me a bunch
I
of
was gonna
cows?
say Sinestro, but
Man, that contrast on my name, man, doesn't stick out too well.
That's okay, I'll fix that here in a second.
Oh, man. Supposed to be professional, dude. Quality of the butts on this stream is fucking very subpar.
Oh boy. Okay, so talk while I dick around with this. Talk about why you guys like the fucking leader.
Imperials. Okay. Nick, would you like to start?
You go ahead.
Okay, so reason why I agree with the Legion more than I do the Stormcloaks is because right off the hop, when you go to Windhelm, you're met with this encounter. Everybody's seen it. So we've all been to Windhelm for the first time and seen, I I think his name is Ragnar or
Rolf.
Rolf, is it Rolf?
Pretty sure.
Stonefist, and his buddy, stereotyping this dark elf as a spy, and threatening her that, well, we know what to do with spies, and maybe we'll come take a visit in the Grey Quarter, and basically beat you up, or worse. Obviously, this is fucking game that they're not going to go that dark, but like again, that's typical racist behavior, and that's the first thing you see when you come to the town of Windhelm, that Ulfric is Jarl of, that he establishes the order. Of course, there's horrible people in every single town, but that is common day. Hey, a stranger just came into our town, and there's racism immediately. Is rough, and you've got tons of different soldiers doing the same thing. Different comments that they make to you if you're a dark elf, right off the hop, and they really don't like refugees. And you get this whole picture just by walking around Windhelm. That didn't sit well with me playing through my first time. When I went to Solitude, I saw the execution, and that's meant to kind of turn you off of that. Because did the gate guard do a bad thing? Did he not? Who knows? It's honestly, if you look at it from Ulfric was a fucking criminal, just killed the king, then yeah. So they're just going through the basic motions of law and order. But yeah, could be argued. That one's a little bit grayer than there's a racist guy shouting at a dark elf. That's not gray. It's just very clearly. You go into talk with General Tullius and Legate Ricca if you're looking to join the Imperial Legion, and they're both like, Tullius seems a little bit disconnected, but Ricca immediately says, you seem capable. I would like to give you a mission that will help further the Empire, and it makes sense. You do the same thing for the Stormcloaks. The first mission is basically setting you on a suicide mission.
Mm-hmm.
A literal, out in the middle of fucking BFE, fight one ice wraith and likely die. Obviously, it's an easy quest mechanically, but the ideas behind both of those joining missions are vastly different. For the Imperials, you're doing something that's more difficult, but you're taking a fort, a resource that the Imperials will use and require, and you're fighting bandits. You go join the Stormcloaks, they set you up to die. And both of those things kind of led me to side with the Imperial Legion at first. There's more reasons why, but that's like my standing ground. That's why I joined the Imperial Legion.
Yeah, like what I really like about Skyrim is how it kind of flip-flopped the whole roles of everything. Like, you start in the game and it's like, oh, you're shown like, oh, the fucking Imperial Legion is cutting off the heads of these rebels, so you're immediately fucking drawn to the rebels because it's the underdog. Everybody's drawn to the underdog in the story. Well, you go to the underdog's home turf and you see all this racism, you see all this prejudice, you see refugee crisis, you see famine. Like, he's not holding down the fort very well, and he's trying to fucking drum up support based on this like religious icon, Talos. But then you go to Solitude and you try to join the Imperial Legion, and then they're very easy to identify with. Like, Legate Ricca is a great example of, like, they're very down to earth. They understand the entire situation of Tamriel as a whole, about the entire fucking Aldmeri crisis that's going on right now, and how the Empire needs to be unified in order to combat that threat. So it's really cool how they kind of flip-flop those roles, where instead of painting like the rebels as the good guys overthrowing the evil empire, it's kind of flip-flopped in that aspect. That's not saying that the Stormcloaks are evil, and it's not saying that the Legion is good. It's all kind of varying shades of gray, but it's a really cool flip-flop, and I really like that. I don't really identify with either of them. I prefer the Legion because I'm a sucker for the whole Imperial Empire shit that was going on, like in the Third Era, where all the other games take place. So that kind of got me back into it, and that's like all the other characters I made were Legionnaires back in the day. So that's what really got me into that. But I can see it from both sides, that aspect.
So, we've established both sides' points, and everybody's kind of like personal feelings. What?
Well, I haven't mentioned me and the Stormcloaks yet.
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
you didn't. Oh, you didn't. Yeah, that's right. I thought you did. I asked you first, but then you said us first. Yeah, that's right.
Come
Okay.
on.
You and Stormcloaks. Whatever. Fuck.
But no, honestly, the main reason I ended up in the Stormcloaks to begin with in the first playthrough was just because I happened to follow what's-his-face, the Stormcloak dude in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Good old what's-his-face.
Oh, Rayloff.
Yeah, Rayloff. And I just kind of followed down that path, and while it was a bit unsettling with the racism and the other shit, I could kind of look past that because, to some degree, because in trying to imagine a realistic scenario like that, it's not necessarily something that I'm okay with, but at the same time, it's not something that's a surprise either. But what ended up cinching it for me is when I did a Imperial playthrough, and at the end of the Imperial storyline, the fact that they just fucking behead Ulfric and just have his head on a fucking pike all the way back to Cyrodiil. That was kind of what put it over the edge for me.
Oh, yeah.
No.
The Empire is cruel, as they are just. But what is just with just fucking believing in your own purpose, you know? That's getting a little esoteric, but...
Right. Okay. So, strategy on both sides. So, who do you think would win in the end versus the Ultimate Dominion?
Neither.
The fucking Ultimate Dominion?
Yeah.
I agree. Both are too broken to stand up to the Ultimate Dominion. Pretty fucking insane.
So, if the Stormcloaks won the Civil War, then the Empire would be totally fucking battered.
Yeah.
And the Almeri would just fucking sweep over.
Yeah.
They might have a hard time taking Skyrim. But Skyrim as an independent nation does not make the fucking Aldmeri any less of a threat to the Empire as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shit that's going on with Hammerfell during the events of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of free of the Aldmeri.
Mm-hmm.
They're still fighting, even like what 35 years after the Great War.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, like 175 was the Great War. Anyway, fucking. So if Stormcloaks win, then they'll have home turf advantage if the Aldmeri come steamrolling through. But if the Empire wins, they're going to be stretched too thin across most of the upper portions of Tamriel, and the Aldmeri are going to come and just fucking sweep them through.
Yeah.
It's not going to end well for either party.
No. And this is where I'd like to talk about more the strategy of both parties enacting through quests. So, like, on the Stormcloak side,
There is none.
since I just, there's none. But like, even furthermore, Nick, you brought up Hammerfell. So, in the lore, there are the Red Guards, who are from Hammerfell, who successfully fought on their own and pushed out the Ultimate Dominion. Now, obviously, they're still boring, and that's not a win-win, but they're doing well, and retaining their independence from the villain, the real villains of the story, the Ultimate Dominion. And there are representatives from Hammerfell that show up in Whiterun. That is a Imperial-controlled stronghold. However, there are many local citizens and guards who have kind of a liking to the Stormcloaks. Greymanes, right? The Greymanes run the fucking shit if you take it for the Stormcloaks. The Nords. So this is non-Stormcloak, technically an Imperial city. Nords. Nords is a people. See these Red Guards try to come in through, and they ask, we're just looking for somebody, we just want to stop in and investigate. Can we, like, do we have the right to continue forward? And I don't remember their exact wording, but essentially that they're just two strangers, and they're not looking to cause trouble. They're just looking to find something. And they would, they make it sound like they would like help from the guards. So basically, let the rule of law here handle
the legal shit, we just want to find her, right? We want to take her with us, but you guys can seize her, you know, that kind of thing. So they're not like trying to be like, we come in and we chop off her head. Like it's just they come in, they ask, they want to investigate for this girl, and you come find out that yes, indeed, she is a criminal, and you can complete that quest for them. But it's a perfect example of Nords just being racist for the only purpose of being racist. There's no relation to the refugee crisis because the Red Guards are not refugees. They're strangers in a foreign land who are strong allies. Like, why aren't the Greymanes talking to these Red Guards? They have pull in the city. Why aren't they allowing them to come in? Why aren't the Stormcloaks trying to contact the Red Guards of Hammerfell and say, hey, we should definitely work together? They don't. Because they believe Nords is for the Skyrim, and Skyrim is where they'll stay, and they won't do anything other than be Nords. They don't like other races. And it doesn't just mean Dark Elves. It means all of them. Anybody who's not a Nord is fucking gringo. That's what they believe. They believe they're Glylo fucking Inwas. Yeah.
Yep, Baka fucking Gaijin.
You're right. There's no like rhyme or reason to it. I would understand the racism if it was just the Dark Elves, because yes, a refugee insurgents without their consent is kind of rough on their resources and people would feel disparaged. It is not okay, but it would make sense. The other shit, like racism towards Red Guards, Khajiit, fucking orcs, fucking elves other than Dark Elves, like even a little bit of racism towards High Elves makes sense. But like, what else? What did they ever fucking do? Like, they're just there. And the Khajiit are treated like literally homeless people. They're like fucking dirty cat people. Like
the
what
Khajiit
the
are
fuck?
fucked all throughout Skyrim history, or I mean Elder Scrolls history.
That's true,
Yeah.
but
For the most part.
I'm just
At least
saying.
they can just hang out and get high in the desert all fucking day and stare at the moons.
Right.
Shit, that's all they do.
Can't go elsewhere.
but yeah.
Oh wait,
Got 'em.
got him good.
But yeah, so ultimately, like, their strategy is fucking all over the place. They do shit, like, out of spiritual necessity rather than actual military necessity. Whereas the Imperials move with what is typically a military strategy, like what they know is the right way to continue forward.
It all boils down to the Aldmeri banning the worship of Talos.
Yeah, and they did that to stir the fucking pot.
Yup, exactly. They fucking knew that the Nords worshipped Talos like Talos the unerring, Talos the unassailable, that kind of shit. But like, if the whole Talos ban was not put in place, if the Aldmeri did not do that, then everything would be copacetic, totally kosher with everybody.
Right.
Everybody would regain their strength. There wouldn't be any civil war. Maybe, I don't know. The whole Markarth incident thing still exists.
Right.
Which I'm honestly not that familiar with.
Well,
Too
it's
much.
they were supposed to let a bunch of people go, but the Imperials ended up executing them or something like that.
I'm gonna actually look that up because it was something like like the Bretons took over Markarth or something. Not
Yeah,
Bretons,
the
but,
Forsworn took over. Yeah.
And then like Ulfric led his Stormcloaks and like took over the town. They were like, nah, fuck you. Markarth incident. Ulfric led the militia to capture the Reach and what would become known as the Markarth incident. I won't read this all out loud.
But yeah.
Yeah.
On the point of ending too, so you mentioned the way the Imperials treat Ulfric in the end is terrible. It is.
Yes.
But I remember when you win with the Stormcloaks, Ulfric kind of showboats in front of Tullius, and they kill Rikka like it means fucking nothing. And
That's true.
Rikka was an ally that they fought with. Like she even said that, like she fought in many wars with Guillemar. She has a high respect for Ulfric and Guillemar. She hopes to end it peacefully. When they come knocking on her door, she's like, you can't, the general has given up, but I haven't. I'm a true Nord of Skyrim, and I will stand my ground. Then you will die on it. And they just fucking kill her with no regards to her honor or trying to convert her to the Stormcloaks. They don't give a fuck. They just annihilate her. And when they come to kill fucking Tullius, he's like, he gives them that dose of reality. It's like, this is what they wanted. They win. It's like, doesn't matter. We run Skyrim now. Like he says verbatim, essentially, that may be so, but now Skyrim is the true home to only the Nords. So basically, he said that this, like, Ulfric's true intentions was to cleanse Skyrim of all other fucking interference with just Nords running shit like the Nords want. And it had nothing to do with Talos even at that point. It's just him showboating. He just didn't want to have to take orders from an Imperial, which is shit. It's just shit reason to kill so many of his brothers and sisters that he had respect for, or so-called respect for. But yeah, both endings are equally terrible in the way that they treat the commanding officer. Tullius just is like a piece of shit because he gives up. So yeah, he's weak-willed. Tullius is not a great guy. But Rika is the most stand-up out of all of them. Gullimar might as well be a racist. His fucking brother is the one who does the shit in the Grey Quarter and gets away with it because he's brothers with one of the fucking high-ranking officers. So he gets to beat up women and fucking weak people in the Grey Quarter because his brother is Stonefist. That's fucking bullshit.
Yep. Fucking racist assholes. It's just using it as a ploy to give Ulfric power, man.
Yeah. So, did you look at the Markarth incident?
Yeah, it was pretty much how we had it. Madanach had the Markarth under his control. Ulfric had a deal with the Imperials for free worship of Talos and Markarth. Ulfric went right in and wrecked shit. Then after that was all taken care of, the Thalmor come over and come knocking on the door, being like, "Hey, heard there was some Talos worship going on." And then, the whole that was the big factor of bringing the Stormcloak Rebellion to fruition.
Yeah. So, do we have anything more to say about Stormcloaks versus Imperials?
Fuck Talos.
Fuck Talos.
Fuck Talos
Speaking
and
of
Giant
Talos.
Robot.
Yeah, speaking of Talos.
Speaking of Talos, old Tiber Septim, the man himself. Notice I said man.
Give us some background.
Alright, so give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the page real quick. But just off the top of my head, Talos, a man by the name of Tiber Septim, the fucking Dragonborn. He was this dude who, at the end of the Second Era, decided to be like, I don't really like them elves. And kind of just swept across Tamriel and this giant fucking robot of his. Just slaughtering away. And through the use of this giant robot, reached divinity. This giant robot is called
As you do.
As you do with the giant robots, people tend to worship you. This giant robot was called the Numidium, and it has the heart of Lorkhan in it, which is one of the Aedra. I don't know off the top of my head. But he died. He founds the first empire, begins the Third Era, with the empire at the seat. Pardon my fucking mush mouth right now. The empire is centered in Cyrodiil. All of Tamriel united under this banner with Tiber Septim and his giant robot. He runs the empire for a good few decades, dies, becomes divine. Maybe that kind of is weird, and then I don't really want to get into that because he wasn't worshipped as a divine then. He was only worshipped as a divine after the Warp in the West. But if we get started talking about the Warp in the West, it's just going to turn into just a shit show.
Well, we'll discuss a little bit of it, but we'll go move past it right
There's
now.
no little bit of it. Moving on.
A little bit of it, giant robot coming back. But yeah, he founds the first empire. Not the first empire, the Septim Dynasty. Begins the Third Era. All of Tamriel united under that banner. Until the Fourth Era, when Martin Septim becomes a dragon, Akatosh, and banishes Marin's Dagon, but that's Oblivion. But yeah, anyway, Tiber Septim was a Nord. Nords worship him because they're like, man, that dude killed real good. And he yelled really loud because he was master of voice. He used his voice to kill elves. Nords hate elves. Nords like yelling. Shit.
What's
That's
not to like?
transitive
Beat
property.
and yelling. What else is there?
Yep.
A equals B and B equals C. A has to equal C. You know what I'm saying?
So he's Nord Jesus.
He's yeah, Nord Jesus.
Needs
He
it,
didn't
if
die
you will.
for our sins. He had a giant robot.
Yeah.
He needs to die for your mead.
He needs to
For
die
your
the
meads.
Fucking mead. Fucking Titus Mead.
A second.
This fucking asshole. But yeah, at the end of the third era, after the Septim Dynasty ended, a bunch of fucking bandits and warlords took over the Imperial City and started their own quote-unquote empire, which transformed into the modern empire that's in Skyrim.
So,
Was that
so-
actually what happened?
Yep.
So, I'm sorry. Say that again. A bunch of bandits came and took the empire, and it became what it is today.
Pretty much. Let me look that up to get like the actual fucking lore on that shit. But yeah, pretty much there was no empire. They couldn't maintain order in Cyrodiil, so a bunch of fucking warlords and bandits from the fucking fields just rolled in.
what a way to run a railroad, guys.
We're talking about like Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, like levels of bandits.
Pretty much.
A small band of bandits have been annoying our village. You mean thousands of them?
So around like 4th era, 5 or 10, like somewhere in there, the empire starts to collapse. Bad shit starts happening all over. Red years going on. But yeah, okay. So in 4th era, 17, Titus Mead the first. This fucking dude, the fucking page would load. Come on, you fuck. Damn you, internet. Emperor during the early 4th era who came to power after the Oblivion Crisis. Father to him, progenitor of the Mede dynasty. Before his reign as emperor, Titus Mede had been several things: a Colovian warlord, a soldier in an outlaw army, and a king in Cyrodiil. So it's basically this fucking bandit motherfucker just got a lot of power, much like, you know, Berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Works his way up, and then motherfucker, you know, starts wrecking shit.
So you're saying he's Griff?
I'm saying he's Griffith minus the God Hand,
Right.
and like way older.
So why don't you think Talos is a god? The man god. The god man.
Because he only reached divinity through the use of, you know, using artifacts, which in that sense, your main character in pretty much
the
every
player
game
character
should-
from Oblivion reaches mad godhood through the use of a fucking beaten stick.
Well, that's Daedra. I'm like that gets a little funky.
Fair, but
Daedra can hand that shit out like fucking cookies, man.
I mean, do we know that the Aedra can't?
It's only happened once. Tiber Septim.
Had to get to 8 Aedra somehow.
Well, so in that interest, the medium, a dwarven giant robot, had the heart of Lorcan. Lorcan is an Aedra, right?
Yeah, I'm actually looking that up right now.
Now
Lorcan.
Lorcan, I don't know Lorcan. There's no amulet
He's
for
sure.
Lorcan. He is
Yeah,
sure?
he's sure.
Okay. So
Yeah, you know,
that
sure.
would suggest that there are still only 8 divines, and that Tiber Septim became 1 with Lorcan.
Maybe.
Heart of Lorcan.
That's more logical.
Heart of Lorcan's still kicking around until Morrowind, though.
Yeah.
What happens in fucking Morrowind to end that?
They're gonna build a second Numidium.
Oh. And you fucking have to destroy it?
Yeah.
Brand new big robot.
Oh, fucking Dwemer and their giant robots.
Dude, yeah. The Dweema.
The fucking Dwemer. Yeah. Old Lorcan is sure. And Tiber Septim basically got these artifacts, got these magical like hoo-ha's and doodads.
Hoo-ha's
and the giant
doodads.
robot. And basically that's how he got his whole divinity, is that he used objects of the Aedra to reach that level. Which is, I don't know, you get your main character in all these games. It's fucking cheating. It's absolutely cheating. 100%. It's all well and good if you want to have a giant robot, but to be fucking worshipped like a fucking god? Nah.
Awesome. I got 99 problems. And being a god isn't one.
Yeah.
99 problems in Lorcan ain't one.
But I want to bring this to the Warp in the West real quick.
Okay.
I am gonna fucking try to make this as brief as possible.
Good luck.
So the Warp in the West happens. Anybody listening, go look it up on like the wiki or whatever. So basically, the Numidium comes back, and this is like, I don't know, like a decade or so before Morrowind, if that. Which is like, I don't know. I don't have the date on that. It's like 3rd era, 400 something. But anyway, well after Tiber Septim did his whole fucking conquer Tamriel thing. So the Numidium comes back, and Tiber Septim wasn't worshipped as a god before this Warp in the West. Whether it was excluded by developer oversight or whatever, he was only started worship after the Warp in the West. Warp in the West, the Numidium comes back, completely wrecks pretty much all of the western nations of like High Rock and Hammerfell in Tamriel. Just totally just wreck shit. Like,
And
absolutely.
And real quick, who woke up the Numidium?
Whoever you play as is in Daggerfall.
Okay, so that's you.
That's
you doing it.
That's you waking that shit up. But you can't control it because you only the bloodline of Tiber Septim or some shit.
Right, so it's just going nuts.
So it's just going fucking ape shit, unless whoever controls the totem of Tiber Septim.
Right.
And you can, in Daggerfall, you can hand it off to like a bunch of these different powers. But to retcon it, Bethesda was like, we have like 8 multiple endings in Daggerfall. How are we gonna make this canon? It's all canon.
Yep.
It's
That's
the Warp
how
in the
it
West.
works.
So now, after the Warp in the West, Talos is worshipped as a god because the Numidium happens, like a couple days just disappear from existence, and everybody is just totally copacetic with each other, and they have a new god. Sweet. Whether the Nords worshipped him before that or not is hard to find out because of the retcon, but that's getting a little bit deep. I don't want to talk about the Warp in the West because that shit gets real confusing. As you can hear. But long story short, fuck Talos. Fuck the Nords.
So what was the Empire like after the Septim Dynasty then?
I kind of went into that a little bit. The whole like Titus Meade took that shit over.
Yeah.
Fucking Clovian warlord. He had a kid who 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 is the current emperor in Skyrim.
Yeah, Emperor.
Emperor.
Is he still related to the Septims?
No, they are not.
Oh, okay, I didn't think so.
So the Dragonborn line is fucking old.
Yeah, the entire 3rd era was the Septim Dynasty. Starting with Tiber Septim, ending with Martin Septim.
Yeah, the only other way to get another bloodline like that going would be if Akatosh fucking jizzes on another family.
Well-
Yeah, divine intervention.
Well, now, I don't think that they were.
What?
What?
Your character in Skyrim.
No, you cut out. You just it was like
Oh.
I don't, and then nothing.
Yeah, maybe
Oh.
don't make popcorn.
I said, I don't know. But if they.
Cut out again.
Nick, you're too far from your receiver.
I'm sorry. Okay. So If they make
Again!
your
Damn it, Nick.
Jesus, every time you
Go
shake
back
the
to the
fucking
living
bag.
I'm sorry, I'm making it a game now. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Same thing. I think
Okay,
I think when you shake the popcorn, it thinks it's static in the background, so it like tries to cut it out.
it just cuts me.
Yeah,
All right,
it does.
Okay, so I'm done shaking it. So
Shit.
your character in Skyrim is a Dragonborn. You're not any kind of Emperor line.
No.
But if Ulfric is successful, and instead of fighting the Ultimary Dominion, goes to fucking fight the Empire, you have a logical seat on the throne. If Ulfric is to die,
Yeah.
you could return, and there could be a Dragonborn yet again on the throne.
As far as like being favored by divinity, yeah.
Yeah, you've got a point there.
Yep. Now, that's if Ulfric wanted to leave fucking Skyrim and do anything other than just hunker down and not fight the elves. I mean, he might want to go and fight the Ultimary Dominion, but he's not going to keep taking it to the Empire.
Yeah, like as soon as they're out of Skyrim, he's pretty much not gonna fucking go anywhere beyond that. Even he knows that his whole Stormcloak warriors would not be able to last outside of their element.
Yeah.
A couple catapults and some ambush tactics do not make a good army.
Nope.
No, they don't.
So, next topic.
The Bethesda bug.
Skyrim is not made well.
No,
Nope.
it's really not.
Alright,
say
next
more?
topic. Yeah, no. So, what are your favorite glitches that you encountered?
A fucking elephant.
There are elephants in Skyrim?
Mammoth. Split hairs, why don't you?
Mammoth hairs.
Explain.
Split some red mammoth hairs. So, for anyone who hasn't played Skyrim, because just about anyone who's played Skyrim, even if they fucking mod patch it, which we'll get to mod patches in a second, anyone who's played it has probably seen a glitch where, especially around Whiterun, you're walking off into the field and you're like, whoa, there's a mammoth in the sky. It's really wigging out the... Oh, one's fallen to its death and the other one shot off into the stratosphere. And then eventually it comes back down and smacks into the ground like a fucking meteor.
Well,
I love that one.
quick note, kids. If you cast Soul Trap on it before it hits the ground, you got yourself a free Grand Soul.
Win-win.
Fucking soul tips.
Yeah.
I got two favorite glitches, so go ahead, Nick.
No, you go ahead.
Alright. Fucking my first favorite is in the first patch, like before the first patch even, like total vanilla original Xbox release Skyrim, there was a bug where you would occasionally see somebody running on a horse. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but
I'm not personally, but I've seen videos.
dude,
Yep.
it's like a horse is running, just galloping away, and the dude who's supposed to be riding it is running, physically moving his feet, running on top of the horse while it's moving. It's like they're moving in tandem, like side by side, but like, you know, stacked vertically, if you will. It's almost like a totem pole, if you will.
Total Polatron.
And my most recent glitch that is easily skyrocketed to my favorite was, I have no idea what caused this. I'm playing on the most recent patch with the unofficial patch of the special edition of Skyrim. So I walk into my house in Solitude, and you got those mannequins in the basement. So I look, and the mannequins aren't there. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And I look to the room to the right, and they're just kind of like standing there walking around.
Yup! That is, I forgot about that one. I'm happy you reminded me.
So
That one
I'm
creeped
like,
me the fuck out the first time I saw that.
so I take out my knife and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking stab it, and I stab it, one of them, and it hurts it, and the mannequin gets really upset, and he starts fist fighting me.
He doesn't get angry. He gets upset.
He has no mouth, so I have no facial emotions or anything like that coming from him, so I'm just stabbing him, and he seems like he's getting mad. But he starts punching me. So I'm like, okay. So I keep stabbing him, right? And I kill him. And then the other one's getting pretty pissed too, so I kill him too. Well, I use him, I don't want to assume it's gender. It's fucking a fucking stuffed mannequin. Anyway, they're fucking dead on the ground, and I can search them, and I can still store my clothes and shit. As if like I'm dressing the mannequin. So I dress the mannequin on the ground, and I leave and come back, and they're just fucking dead and ragdolled where they're supposed to be, frozen in place.
No, I haven't done that. That's fucking great.
That shit was insane. It made me fucking cry.
Make me cry. I promise you.
Nick was your favorite.
Alright, so I got a couple of favorites too. So, there are less of glitches and more of exploits, and that is completely in line with the Bethesda bug. Because is it a glitch? Is it a feature? Yes. So, namely, I always play my game by making a trip to all of the holds. One of the trips I make is Solitude, where I get a lot of my enchanting stuff. Now, one of the stops I have to make in order to make the game go by a little bit faster, when I was playing a lot more legit and without mods, I would go to the Blue Palace, go inside, grab the biggest silver platter I could find, go to that little snowberry garden, flip it upside down, and walk through that wall. Because plates let you just pass through shit. Anything. You can take a wooden bowl and do it. To any wall. Anywhere. It doesn't matter. It's so fucking ridiculous and like the level of oversight that like they were like, yeah, that's fine. We'll leave that in. No one will try
what's
this.
that?
Yeah, what is
Just like
that?
real
Yeah.
life.
Right, yeah, you just fucking pass right through. So you
Well, they use the
You can
spell
go through-
pass wall.
right, there you go, that's what's happening.
Got him.
That's what they meant to put in the game. So anyway, I would do that, and there are sometimes inventory chests in these weird places beyond the veil that you
Yep.
travel to, and you can gather all these resources from it, naming gold, spell tome, shit like that, and it never,
Yeah,
you're
usually
not
from
stealing from
merchants
anybody.
and
It's
shit.
fine. Yeah, totally fine. There's one in Dawnstar that's so fucking go behind some rocks and crouch and get it without having to go through any walls. And in Whiterun, you could do much the same by just crouching under a weird rock. You just go through it, and you're just there. You go, or going through a wall. I think actually, that doesn't need a plate even. It's that broken. So the other one that I wanted to bring up is a favorite, I think, of all of us that have put some time in there, is Fortify Restoration. Now, this one gets patched with the mod, the unofficial patch, right? But it was the easiest way to go from 0 to stupid if you just wanted to conquer the game. Or do a ridiculous idea like infinite shouts or like infinite magic, whatever have you. You could do this legitimately in the
Kind
game.
of.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's an exploit, but it's a feature. You can just do it. You make a Fortify Restoration potion. You drink it. Now, normally that just makes your restoration spells cost a little bit less. But a bonus from that potion is that it increases the percentage of all your enchantments, and it actually works on its own. So if you just wanted to just get a little boost, keep making those potions, drink them every now and again. There you go. Now, here's where the exploit comes in. You make a potion of Fortify Restoration.
Is the burp required?
Utilizing an entire equipment of Fortify Alchemy as your enchantment, right? Okay, I think everybody's kind of following me on this.
Oh yeah.
Drink the potion, take your armor off,
put it back on. This locks the enchantment at the raised level. So if you just wanted to walk around with that armor, you're set, you're done. You don't have to do anything more. But to continue the loop, you make another potion. Well, now it's stronger. And now your percentage goes up again.
Better,
and you repeat
bigger, better,
this,
stronger, faster.
Bigger, better, stronger. And this basically just snowballs until you have like potions of restoration for 8 billion% or negative 3 million or some bullshit like that. And you can then drink it, take your armor off, put it back on, and then make just a shit ton of fortifying enchanting potions, and there you go, you're done. Game's over. That was one of my favorites because it was something that I would religiously do in gathering all the supplies you would need to make enough restoration potions to do that, and then enough enchanting potions to last you for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best. That was like one of the. There was an exploit before that, the Ogma Infinium,
Yep. Yeah.
that we used to use all the time back on the Xbox.
Oh yeah,
days.
you'd
Yeah.
put it in your bookshelf.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
Kind of
forgot
roll you
about
all the
that
way
one.
to the top. Yeah. We got patched pretty quickly.
Yeah, that one got patched, and then they had the legendary shit, so the 81 level cap is no longer a thing.
Yeah.
But still, even in special edition, even after all these re-releases, they still have not patched Fortify Restoration,
Yeah.
leaving it all to the unofficial patch.
So speaking of the unofficial patch, how ridiculous is it that you buy a game and you have to leave it to modders to fucking fix the broken shit?
Sure saves you a shitload of time on your fucking beta testing, doesn't it? Bethesda.
You're not wrong.
Didn't have to spend any money, nothing.
Yeah? Yeah? That is...
You just give them the tools and they'll finish the game for you.
Can't argue that, I suppose.
They're like IKEA of games. It's like, here's a super complicated cabinet. Why aren't you gonna build it for me? No. Here's some really shitty instructions. Good luck. Oh. You end up with like a backwards table.
So what was the first character one of you two made in Skyrim?
Dark Elf.
Dark Elf
Dark Elf, Dark Elf.
Yeah.
Spell sword. Spell in the left hand, sword in the right. Mainly use destruction magic and conjuration.
I was almost identical, except for me it was destruction and restoration.
Nice.
I was a orc conjurer that also used alteration magic.
Nice.
My whole strategy was to throw a couple of Jormora lords at every problem I encountered, put on dragon hide, and then also my ability being an orc. So I took half of half damage.
Just drop it down to a quarter.
Yep. It was pretty good. It was a good answer to all my problems.
Actually, I'm really curious because the Orc Power Berserk straight up cuts everything dead in half of what you're taking. And
Right.
Dragon Hide or Dragon Skin or whatever the hell it is just a flat 80% is totally done.
Right.
So you're only taking 20% damage with Dragon Hide or Dragon Skin or whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you're only taking 10% of damage
Mm-hmm.
of everything that's being attacked at you.
That's insane.
Add an enchantment for either like the Atronach Stone plus a not glitched amulet of Magicka resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are totally damn near invincible.
At least temporarily.
At least temporarily. You only
Which is
take
all you
10% of all physical damage.
Yeah.
Shit.
That was the point.
Hell yeah.
And then I discovered that I could legitimately enchant like 4 pieces of armor with 25% reduction of any spellcasting type. So I made a spell sword, Dark Elf, go figure, with destruction magic as my focus, that was free. So I could just keep casting lightning bolt over and over and over.
Oh yeah, that's where the shit comes in.
Yeah. What? The big salt? We already have some salt. What are you talking about, little bottle? We have that thing of salt. Here.
Oh,
Big
just come to
salt.
D&D, there'll be a salt for days.
Big salt.
What?
Big
Real big salt.
Honey bunnies? Okay.
Honey,
Okay. Got it.
honey butter. I'm sorry,
Honey butter. Okay, got it. Now that makes sense.
honey butter.
Hmm.
It's really easy. It's got peanut butter and honey mix.
There.
Said that they're
Hey Grandma, we're live.
There you go. Alrighty. Okay.
So, so what in vanilla Skyrim? What are the different playable races that you guys enjoy and why?
In vanilla Skyrim?
Yeah, without throwing mods into the mix.
Well, my favorite's always gonna be Dark Elf. Mainly because I like elves. And I think they got fucked over quite enough, so I like playing a character that's pretty cool and pretty badass with them.
Fucking
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Truth.
I mean, their whole land got invaded by lizards and blown up by a volcano. So
I mean, in fairness with the lizards, they enslaved those lizards first, so...
true, very true.
The
but that was-
volcano, however.
the volcano, you know, as soon as the tribunal goes away, everything just goes to shit because
You
you know
mean-
the Daedra get pissed.
Who doesn't want a pet bearded dragon that can do labor for them?
That can talk and fucking
Have
lift
families.
rocks.
That's half a person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking beast races.
Alright. So, I do tend to lean towards dark elves realistically, but I have a fondness for Khajiits. Specifically because of the lore attached to them and how much they don't give a fuck. How much their whole culture is based around literally getting high and sleeping. That's what they like to do. There have been wars fought by, like, whose main is the biggest, and that's who wins. They don't fight. They're just like, oh, your main's bigger. All right, you win. Let's get high.
So
Like,
one of my favorite things about the Khajiit is that they have different forms based on when they're born, like what time they're born, what phase of the moon is.
mhm.
So a Khajiit can go from what you see in like Skyrim or Oblivion, where they're like kind of cat people, but they can also go to just being like total regular ass, everyday looking people, like
Mhm.
humans, all the way down to like talking house cats.
Yeah, it's badass.
Like it's that whole spectrum of everybody wants to get high, including the cat, including the people, including the cat people.
Yeah. And that's why I prefer Khajiits, even though I've only ever really played one solid Khajiit character. I just like them as a race. They're cool.
They are cool.
Plus, their homeland is a cool name. Fucking Elsewhere.
Because the better kingdom is elsewhere.
That's right.
What about you, Kane? What's your race?
What?
Caucasian.
Right?
Caucasian. What's your preferred race, Kane?
Puerto Rican. Dark Elf is what I always default to when I'm doing something that, like if I'm starting a fresh Elder Scrolls game that like just came out or something, then it's always Dark Elf. I agree with Nick very much on the Khajiit for much the same reasons, and you as well.
Yeah.
Another one that I think is kind of cool that I experimented with in Elder Scrolls Online was Red Guards, because they've got like the Egyptian thing going on.
Hell yeah. Fucking pretty much everything North African. Fucking, yeah, fucking Hammerfell, all that shit, the Alakir Desert, Red
Yep.
Guard, they're all fucking dope.
Very much so.
Fucking,
It seems like they do a lot of things like historically with soul gems and shit and variations on soul gems, and it's pretty badass.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking orcs are pretty cool too. They're probably my second favorite.
Another
after
race that
dark
gets
elves.
fucked over constantly.
Another race that just like gods are just like no, can't be normal people.
Their fucking god, their Daedra god Trinamac, was said to have been a wholly different creature previous to being shit out of Mehrunes Dagon. That's literally what his story is Trinamac was something else, eaten and then shit out as Trinamac.
Oh yeah, that's fucking.
Can,
He
God,
denies it.
It was
real.
Boethia, by the way.
No, it was Boethia. Okay.
oh, that would
Boethia
make
is
more
said to
sense.
have eaten Trinamac and assumed his shape so the Daedric prince could convince a throng of Aldmer to listen to him, which became the orcs. And also the Chimer, but let's not get into the Chimer.
So fuck are the Chimer?
Vivek,
Oh.
Fucking snow elves, pretty much.
kinda. They're like, Daedrically fucked Eldmeri.
That would eventually become the fucking dark elves.
Yep. You got it.
Well, fellas, I think we covered it pretty well. We filled up about an hour. What should be the outro here?
Fuck the elves.
Man, fucking Talos, man. Worship a real god.
Fuck Talos. Fuck the elves.
Worship a real god like Molag Bal.
Hey, the Daedra are more real than the fucking Daedra. If you're talking about who acts more, like Jesus Christ, the Daedra are picking like random people out of fucking chests. Like another person touches the beacon. Like what the fuck? I was just checking out this Ember Shard mine. I got this nice dagger, and now I'm fucking in league with a Daedra. Or fucking
Sweet Meridia, thanks for your golf ball.
giant fucking asshole thing I gotta carry around now.
Mm-hmm.
So
At least the Daedra are tangible.
Also true.
At least you understand where they stand on certain shit.
Yeah, on your bones.
Exactly. Like fucking Molag Bal, you see that dude walking down the street, you turn the other way, man. Like that dude's
yeah, walking
I don't
down
know
the
if I want to
street,
turn the other way. He might get some ideas.
yeah. Just fucking turn the other way and sprint.
fucking, you see Molag Bal walking down the street. It's already over. He's on this plane. What the fuck are you talking about? He's walking on the street. You mean buildings that he turns into street? Like,
Also fucking true.
But at least you know what he's doing there.
right,
Yeah.
your fucking town is getting soul chained into the darkness, and you could suck a fat one. It's game over.
Exactly. You know where he stands. The Aedra are only put in power by the people that worship them. You know what I'm saying? They're not inherently good or evil. Whereas the Daedra, for the most part, are evil. Minus like Meridia. And
Barack
Azure.
Obama in that, Nick? It's not like you were Barack Obama there for a second. Daedra
The
are
Aedra
inherently evil.
are inherently
Sorry, or the Daedra.
the Daedra need to be stopped.
My fellow Americans,
My fellow Americans,
face a
Boethia.
great threat.
we have new security that will help us prevent the assault of Mehrunes Dagon. We have our finest Legion spies routing out these cults.
It's just all
Rest.
serious.
And I will not rest until all these Daedra worshippers are brought to light.
Tender's mercy be with all of you. Good night.
May Talos bless every one of you. Oh, Talos sucks. Worship a real god, not some loser with a robot.
Some fucking high elf in the back.